Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Coach Craig's Sports. Today is Tuesday, September 27th, and this is the MLB DFS video for today. So in today's video, I'll be going over a recap of yesterday's picks, seeing how they turned out, talking about my core plays for today. It is a 12-game main slate overall, and then talking about my top GPP stacks. At the time of this recording, my article is not yet published over at WeBetATS.com, but once that is available, I'll leave a link to it down in the description below. But without further ado, we'll get started with a recap of yesterday's picks. At the pitcher position, we went with Bryce Elder at $8,900, got to 55 points yesterday, so he was a hit in the top overall pitcher on yesterday's slate. So he was a very good play, and only about 25% of the field played him, which was not bad for a 4-game slate overall. Then at first base, we had Vladimir Guerrero Jr. He was $3,900, got to 12.7 points. He was a hit, and I believe he was the third overall first baseman on yesterday's slate, so can't really complain there. Then we have Whit Merrifield at second base or outfield, just depending on where you want to throw him. He is $2,500, got to 0 points yesterday, so unfortunately he was a miss, although he did have pretty good history versus Luis Severino in the past. Then we moved down to Rafael Devers at $3,800. He got to 15.5 points, so he was a hit in the second overall third baseman yesterday. The only one that was ahead of him yesterday, I believe, was Ke'Bryan Hayes by 0.2 points. And then last but not least, we had Kike Hernandez in the outfield at $2,700, got to 19.7 points, so he was a hit and pretty good value play overall. So yesterday was a pretty solid day overall. If you had some other good hitters along with what we had here, had a pretty good chance of cashing overall. But with that being said, we'll get moved over to the core picks for today. So we're going to start off at the pitcher position with Carlos Carrasco. He's $9,500. He's pitching against the Miami Marlins today. He's averaging about 31 fantasy points per game on the season, and he's pitched very well versus these Marlins so far this season. He's had point totals of 43, 54, 26, and 41 points versus the Miami Marlins this year. So outside of that 26 start, been over 40 every single time. That's what we're looking for out of him today, and I think he can do it once again. Don't really have any concerns there, and he's not a super expensive pitcher on today's slate as well. If I was looking to pay up, I'd go up to a guy like Robbie Ray, and if I'm looking to pay down a little bit, probably going to a guy like Patrick Sandoval. Then we move down to first base with Ryan Mountcastle at $2,700, averaging just over 9.5 fantasy points per game on the season. Goes against the Boston Red Sox and Michael Wacha on the mound today. He is 5 for 13 with 2 home runs versus Michael Wacha in his career, hitting the ball a little bit better once again. So do like the upside that Ryan Mountcastle does offer once again today. Then at second base, we have Jeff McNeil. You can also play him in the outfield. He's $2,600, averaging about 9 fantasy points per game on the season. Going against Pablo Lopez of the Miami Marlins today, he is 9 for 16 with 1 home run versus him in his career. So hitting over 500 versus a pitcher and a decent amount of bats. That's probably somebody that you're going to want to have on today's slate, especially at a $2,600 price tag overall. Then we move down to his teammate in the outfield, and Brandon Nimmo at $3,500, averaging over 10 fantasy points per game on the season. He's been hitting the ball really well as of late. Thus, the increase in his price tag to $3,500. I think he's still a decent play at that price tag, though. Going against Pablo Lopez as well, 7 for 22 with 1 home run versus him in his career. So a little bit of upside there as well. And then last but not least, we have Teoscar Hernandez at $3,200, averaging over 10 fantasy points per game on the season. Goes against the New York Yankees and Jameson Taillon on the mound today. He's 5 for 15 with 2 home runs versus Taillon in his career, and he's on a modest 5-game hitting streak, and he's really starting to hit the ball well once again, especially for a guy that's been streaky most of the year, kind of up and down throughout day to day. Definitely offers a lot of upside. Could offer a goose egg as well, but trying to chase him when he is on that hot streak once again. But with that being said, if you go to these 5 players that I do have listed here, you have $13,500 remaining, just under $3,400 per player. So there's definitely some opportunities to pay up for some players if that's something you want to do. Or if you want to take a little bit more balanced approach, that's definitely fine as well on today's 12-game slate. But with that being said, we'll get moved over to my top GPP stacks for today. As I already mentioned, my article is not yet published over at WeBetATS.com, but once that is available, I'll leave a link to that down in the comments below. So the stacks that I do have for today are the New York Mets going against Pablo Lopez of the Miami Marlins. A lot of these Mets hitters have very good history versus him in the past, so do not shy away from them once again today. Then we have the Toronto Blue Jays going against Jameson Taillon. Like Teoscar Hernandez, some of these Blue Jays hitters have hit Taillon pretty well in the past. He's kind of not been the best versus Toronto this year. He's had a lot of starts versus them, so they've seen him quite a few times this year as well. Then we have the Atlanta Braves going against Paulo Espinino. Nothing to be scared of from Espinino as a pitcher. Some of these Braves hitters have hit him pretty good throughout the season as well. And then last but not least, we have the Seattle Mariners going against the Texas Rangers. Essentially a bullpen game today, so Going to mix and match some pitchers there. Texas bullpen's not the greatest in the world, so I would not be surprised if the Mariners end up being one of the top stacks today as well. But with that being said, these are my core 5 picks as well as top GPP stacks for today, September 27th. As always, if you have any questions related to MLB DFS, be sure to leave them down in the comments below, and I'll get back to you as quickly as possible. Also, be sure to let me know your favorite play on tonight's slate, whether it's someone from my core 5 picks, whether it's someone from my top GPP stacks, or whether it's a completely different player you guys think I missed. Definitely interested in hearing what you have to say. But with that being said, if you are new to my channel, please consider subscribing. Definitely would appreciate it. It helps to build the community that we're trying to build here at Coach Craig Sports, which is one that's truly for you, the viewers, helping you with your DFS, primarily MLB and NFL DFS at this point in time. But once we get back around to the NBA regular season, I will be covering that as well. And then with that being said, if you are a newer current subscriber who's yet to do so, also be sure to hit that notification bell down below. It's going to let you know every single time I post up a new video. Like I've been saying, I post up daily MLB DFS videos just like this. I'm going to have some NFL DFS videos coming out as well. I did a little bit of an impromptu stream last night for the DraftKings NFL DFS single game slate. If you guys would like to see more of that in the future, be sure to let me know that as well. But with that being said, that's all I have for today's video. Hopefully you all enjoyed. And then last but not least, special little shout out to each and every one of you watching today's video. I truly do appreciate you taking the time out of your day to watch this video. Definitely means a lot to me. And I hope each and every one of you has a great rest of your day.